Just in, police and tactical response teams have returned with force to the streets of Diepsloot. Our senior reporter Aviwe Mtila is there. Aviwe, just tell us exactly what these officers are doing on the ground.
So what you see here, Shahan, is the tactical response team members. Some of the, at least a dozen vans, police vans, in fact, that are about to go out now into Diepsloot. We understand it's that visible policing that's been asked for by the community, and it has come, in fact, it has come in numbers. I remember earlier on speaking to the police commissioner, Fani Masimula, telling me that at least 120 members of the police have been added. Of course, that will include the tactical response team, which you are currently seeing this very moment, as well as the public order policing. We saw dozens of vans already go out into Diepsloot at this very moment. In fact, the team that you see now is about to leave just outside the police station, the Diepsloot police station, about to head out themselves into Diepsloot. We understand, of course, they'll be doing random searches, looking, we understand that the identity documentation for a number of people, and already driving off this very moment, Shahan. We've seen a number of police nyalas going in different directions, Shahan. Of course, this is a promise from the Minister, Bekikele, who did say that in the coming days, in fact, from last night already, there will be quite heavy police on the ground, and it will be quite visible. The van that you're seeing there is even from the Sedibeng police station, and of course, trying to get back law and order into the Diepsloot township that, of course, has been ravaged by the crimes that have been alleged. We understand 4 murders over the weekend, and the most recent murder adding on to that being the 5th, just happening last night. We do understand that, of course, of Elvis Nyati, I beg your pardon, the 43-year-old Zimbabwean who was murdered, we understand, by a mob.
Yeah, and this operation, of course, is key to ensuring that we don't have another suspected mob justice incident again tonight, and also trying to calm down the community that's been saying for years that police have not done enough to deal with crime in the area.
Quell the tensions, Shahan, in Diepsloot. And of course, you understand yesterday the first 63 were actually deployed late, something that Minister Bekikele conceded to. As we understand, there was that incident, that killing of Elvis Nyati, which he said that while the police, they didn't even need intelligence, because the police came across this mob and they ran away. We understand from that murder there have been no arrests as yet, but these policemen have gone even in different directions, Shahan. It's not going into one particular location. They're actually spreading out right through Diepsloot. But of course, the focus should be on Extension 1, where a lot of these murders, we understand the murders that have been happening over the weekend was in the impoverished Extension 1, and the murder that actually happened just last night itself was on Extension 1, where my colleague and myself, Teddy Mnyambane, will be driving there ourselves just to give you the extent of this particular operation and these movements that the police are doing in unison, the tactical response team as well as the public order policing.
Yeah, all right. I understand you're going to have to follow that convoy, so we're going to let you do that. We'll cross to you as soon as you stop over somewhere else in Diepsloot. Of course, that situation is quite tense, especially after that incident overnight when we had the Zimbabwean Elvis Nyati actually killed. And it's important to point out, Sally, that we don't know if this was actually mob justice or criminals, because police are investigating exactly why this group went to this house and did what they did.
Yeah, and it was interesting hearing what his wife had to say, is that he ran away because he doesn't have legal papers.
Yeah.
She did. She stayed. She showed this group her papers. They did apparently ask if she was a foreigner. They still beat her up. But because he ran away, she believes that's why it made it worse. But they found him, and he was horrifically attacked and partially burnt, we understand. I mean,
Yeah.
These sorts of attacks are extremely worrying in an area that is crime-ridden and has been for many, many years, and deeply disappointing that this crime was not able to be stopped, just as the police are starting to beef up their presence in that area.
Yeah. 30 police officers from the tactical response team were deployed last night, and this crime still happened in this particular area.
bearing in mind it's a community, I think, of over 140,000 people. It's not going to be possible to have eyes and ears everywhere. But it was interesting when you were there last night, things really seemed to have calmed down. Clearly there are other forces at play. You've got your law-abiding citizens, and then you've got people perhaps who operate much more covertly and do things like this, which is just absolutely wrong.
We will continue getting updates from Aviwe Mtila in Diepsloot, but still to